where it's going to go. All this stuff that we do not need. I know this is kind of a choppy, unscripted recording, but that's the whole point. It's unscripted, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot to go over. Well, actually, I'm beginning to wrap it up. Everything we just don't need, including all the waste of the world. This includes inside the earth, in the air, wherever there is waste itself. Unnecessariness will go into also the destruction realm. And again, the destruction realm only takes its own. And only takes if the person forcing upon themselves wants it, demands it that bad for themselves, to break themselves down that much. Okay. Now, as far as persons, religious persons. Okay. There's a big deal about this, because most persons who have a belief system and are within a religious way of being are overall very unnatural. But the ultimate consideration is that the unnatural circumstances were very obscure. So, their process is that through their discernment and their core self being realized, and they basically know what's up, based upon what they can do for themselves, is based upon what they can do at all. I left a very interesting response with there among us, and that is that nearly all, probably 95%, ironically on the percentage, 95% religious persons won't even really be able to move. Basically because they have put so much of their self. They've also forced themselves into a belief system. Not as graphic as the government, but we know examples. The Pope will definitely not be around. Those who are with the government and they know the deliberate things that they are doing, religious or not, creative or not, they want if anyone wants destruction and they force that upon themselves, will go where they should go. People are in their place. But overall, a lot, 94%, about 94% of the world's people, all animals, world's people will go through and into the hybrid existence. That is a masterful percentage, considering how many that really, truly, really, really need help right now. The other 6%, which I hear that 8% run the world. So I'm thinking it might be 92%, but I'm saying 94% because I believe those 2% are seeing how obvious the government is going to be. I'm not even sure how to describe it. They screwed themselves over, basically. So, yeah, obviously how screwed they are. So they're going to change themselves. They're going to want to. They're going to be scared of what kind of response they're going to get from the people, but they don't want any more part of it. I believe 94%. Okay. As far as the whole how is the government going to be tried and everything, courts will remain in physical matter, but only a select few. One in New York City, one in Washington. Let's see, we got the whole world here, but there's still only two more. Center of China, and of course the UK. Russia and Germany, if essentially who will automatically go to the destruction realm is who is not the direct cause of the unnatural occurrences, more like a worker of some sort. Someone who knows what they're doing, they're just working for the big guy. Essentially, we want the primary, I guess you could call them persons. Because I don't want to throw any terms out there of question, I'm just going to say persons. Because we are beings, they are but persons. Which is to say personas, which then the clarification of what persona they chose, forcefully, they became. These courts will be held by irony, vengeance, and the most controversial evil. Which, I understand this is controversial, but isn't it ironic that evil backwards is live? Do we hear more bad stories than good? When the self hears more bad than good, then it is a narrowness, it is a singling out of essence of definition and clarification. Irony, would you not say that irony is a form of, quote, darkness? But you know why. There's a graphic understanding. There's an essence of realization that is so obvious and so heartfelt, it's impossible to deny. Now, as I quoted before, if evil had anything to say, he has much to say. But let's start from somewhere. If evil had anything to say about these unnatural occurrences, he would say that this is obscurity of an obsceneness, obscenity. We know who's behind what's unnatural in the world. The government. It's not a evil force. They choose it. They have the choice to walk away. It's not a force. In a sense it is, but words are living. Words are the force. Without words, you have silence. With silence, you have basically, if let's just say this world was all the beings of this world were of silence, did not speak words. Essentially, yes, you could write down these words, you could communicate, you could create things, but without speaking, without a way of interacting with the natural harmony strings of the body, the vocal cords. Where's your voice? Where's the music? Basically, it'd be like all bands, just instrumental. You would hear those good songs, but you would hear no lyrics behind them. And they could talk about how good those lyrics are. Would we even know what sound would sound like, in a sense? We could hear a guitar playing very excellent melodies, but without words ever being heard spoken. Of course, this is an example of why words are living. They bring life. They bring prosper. They bring evolution. If it brings prosperity, if it brings progression, it is alive. And it is as simple as a form of an ant that, ironically, is they are very intelligent structural workers. They are able to take dirt, which I don't see how, use some kind of wax or film that they naturally make, and they and piece by piece, and dig by dig, day by day and night by night, they make something, and it's an ant. So there are an eternal amount of examples and comparisons and reflections of what's natural and evolutional. Unnatural is limited. However, the government decided, I know they don't realize it to this level, that's for sure. But the government decided to quantify their unnatural ways of being manyfolds, which means to not be a negative, but to be a